According to reports, Russians are racing to evacuate the Crimean Peninsula because Ukrainian troops will soon strike the occupied region. Crimea was seized by Russia in 2014 as part of its long-running confrontation with Ukraine. Since then, Ukraine has fiercely opposed the annexation, and most nations continue to recognize the land as Ukrainian. Following Thursday's successful counteroffensive in which Ukrainian troops expelled Russian soldiers from critical strategic locations in the northeast Kharkiv area, officials have begun to propose a similar offensive against Crimea to retake the peninsula. Tuesday, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense released a report claiming that despite Moscow's guarantees, Crimean government officials have started moving their families out of the peninsula. The translated Ukrainian report said, the effective efforts of Ukraine's defenders compelled the so-called rulers of temporarily seized Crimea and the south of our nation to evacuate their families to the territory of the Russian Federation. Despite the population's promises that it is safe to remain on the peninsula, members of the Occupation Administration of Crimea, FSB personnel, and leaders of some military units are desperately seeking to sell their houses and remove their families. According to the report, the Crimean administration has prevented its civilian citizens from selling their properties or leaving the territory. In addition, information on the counteroffensive has been severely limited. The report concluded, at the same time, the occupiers have prohibited the signing of contracts for the purchase and sale of housing, imposed restrictions on movement across the Crimean Bridge, and are making every effort to restrict access to information about the counteroffensive actions of the defenders of Ukraine. The Ukrainian military intelligence cautions all war criminals that they will be exposed and punished for their crimes against the Ukrainian civilian population. Valery Zaluzhnyi, Ukraine's senior military officer, and Mikhailo Zabrodsky, a politician, said in a Wednesday article that Crimea would be a primary target of the Ukrainian counteroffensive against Russian soldiers in 2023. Zaluzhnyi and Zabrodsky noted, if we see the 2023 campaign as a turning point, then we must reconsider the notion of the center of gravity for the Russian Federation in this battle. Given that such a center of gravity is defined as control over the Crimean Peninsula, it is reasonable to infer that an operation or series of operations to conquer the peninsula will be planned for 2023.